Alright, what's going on, everybody? Got another gold guide video for you today. It's the P90. Again, the SMGs, they're really good. They're basically like assault rifles when it comes to the camo categories, just you need less amounts of like the kills, headshots, all that stuff. But yeah, in general, they're pretty good. They're good for the small maps, which again are just the small maps are the better maps in general for going for camo categories. So they all just work really well together. If this is your first gold guide video that you're seeing from me, I break down each gun into 4 different builds usually. And each build will cover specific camo categories. They'll cover specific challenges. Rather than giving you one build that will be alright at doing all of the challenges, I'd give you multiple builds. I don't even know what just happened to my screen. That was pretty crazy. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I give you multiple builds that cover specific, each build will target specific challenges. That way you're getting builds that are really good at what they're made for. So if you guys just want to skip to each build, because for each build I will break down the attachments, why I'm using it, because these videos are really meant for newer players more so than a veteran Call of Duty player. If you're a veteran Call of Duty player, you'll probably won't find that much, you won't find these that informative. But so if you are just here just to see what I'm using, you can just, all the timestamps will be down below. You can just click the timestamp and it'll send you straight there, so you don't need to hear me ramble on. But yeah, just hopping into the first one. It should be the kills. Alrighty, so here's the kills build. Starting with the optic. Use whatever optic you guys feel you're most comfortable with. I use the GI Mini Reflex. The reason for that being is because of this thin bezel right here. You have the least amount of chance that you're going to block somebody behind it. Where if you're using something like this holographic sight that's super chunky, you could definitely hide somebody behind these, the bezel, the border. So I prefer the reflex sights, and more specifically the GI Mini Reflex. Let's go on to the grip. For the rear grip, I'm using stapled grip tape, just like all the other rear grips in the game. It's gonna help with your ADS speed and your sprint to fire speed. The difference between these two, ADS speed, aim down sight speed, is the time from when you're hip firing to the time that you're actually looking down your sight or scope, whatever it is you have on equipped. It's just that time. So if it's a pro, it's going to reduce that amount of time, so you look down your sight faster. And if it's a con, it's just going to add in time, so it's going to take you more time to be able to aim down your sight. Sprint to fire speed is the time from when you're running to getting your first shot off. So if you're running, whether it's double sprint or just normal sprint, and then let's just say you pull the trigger to cancel your sprint to shoot, it's that time from running to getting that first shot off. So again, if it's a pro, it's going to reduce that time so you shoot faster, and if it's con, it's going to add time so it takes you longer to shoot. In hardcore, these two pros are extremely beneficial because this is going to get your gun up and ready before your enemy, which in hardcore you're only going to need 1 or 2 shots to kill somebody. And again, if you're a core player and you're hearing me say play hardcore, I know me personally, I'm a core player. But whenever I do my camo challenges, I've done it for the past, I think, 3 Call of Duties. Playing hardcore makes it so much easier. I can't stress that enough. You really should just play hardcore. But since you're only going to need 1 or 2 shots to kill somebody in hardcore, getting your gun up before the other person, 9 out of 10 times, will net you the kill. The underbarrel, it's a little bit different. The P90 is a little bit weird with the underbarrel. They're just like the rear grip. You don't actually have physical grip variations. You have the tape variations. So I'm using the stapled grip tape. Now for the underbarrel, they have different pros. It's gonna help with your recoil control, which is usually what I go for with the underbarrel attachments on other guns. So it's there with stapled grip tape. The recoil control is still there, but the aiming stability, it's all right. But if we go to rubberized grip tape, all it is recoil control. So I have just recoil control when you can have also aiming stability. And then granulated grip tape again is just aiming stability by itself. So me personally, I like using stapled grip tape for the underbarrel attachment. The laser, using the 5 milliwatt laser, again, this is going to help with your sprint to fire speed, extremely important in hardcore. And then it's also going to help you with your hipfire accuracy, which this isn't the hipfire build. I have a specific build for all your hipfire kills, but having the laser on this will net you easier hipfire kills, which in return will help you with that challenge. And I also use the Forge Attack Retribution barrel. to help with your damage range and bullet velocity, which don't matter too much because you're playing on small maps, and in hardcore, you don't need that many shots to kill the person, and it's not like a long distance. The main reason I'm using this is for recoil control, and it has that. But that's it for the kills build. I think the next is Hipfire Build, I believe. Alright, so here's the Hipfire Build. Looking like a normal P90 instead with that massive barrel attachment. For your stock, you're using the fly strap. It's going to help with your sprint to fire speed and your aim walking movement speed, which doesn't really matter. You're really just using it for your sprint to fire speed. The perk, always use sleight of hand with your hipfire kills. You actually don't have extended mags on, which usually I tie in sleight of hand and extended mags together. But there's no extended mags, so you're using sleight of hand by itself. So to give you guys the reasoning behind sleight of hand and extended mags, although extended mags isn't used, just so you guys know. With hipfire kills, obviously you're not aiming, so you're going to be less accurate. Being less accurate means you have to shoot more. Having to shoot more means you're going to be draining your ammo and your mag more often, which means that you want to have an extended mag if you're using extended mags. So you're not using extended mags, so you want to be able to get your... I'm rambling about this way too much, but so when you're shooting more often and you're draining your mags more, you want to have sleight of hand. Sleight of hand is just going to reduce that time that you're reloading, so you're going to be able to get a new mag in there that's topped off faster and more often than without it. It's just going to reduce the amount of time that you're spent reloading. That way you can get kills. That's really the gist of it. Your rear grip, supple grip tape, same exact reason as before. It's going to help your sprint to fire speed. Again, it also helps with ADS speed, but you're not utilizing that because you're not aiming. But sprint to fire speed is important. It's going to let you shoot before the other person, which should net you the kills. Same exact reasoning again for the hipfire, or not for the hipfire, for the 5 milliwatt laser. Sprint to fire speed, you guys know it's very good for hardcore. And then hipfire accuracy, you can see right here for the 5 milliwatt description. 5 milliwatt green laser greatly improves hipfire accuracy. Or if I jump over to the 1 milliwatt, it doesn't say greatly. And 2, you can see I currently have the 5 milliwatt equipped. If I hop over to 1 milliwatt right here, you can see it reduces your accuracy. So 100% 5 milliwatt is better when it comes to hipfire. The only con to it is that it is visible to enemies where the 1 milliwatt is not. So if you find yourself that you're getting pre-fired around a corner, you could swap to the 1 milliwatt laser because it's still going to help you with your hipfire accuracy. But I would highly recommend you just stick it out with the 5 milliwatt laser. It's way more beneficial than the 1 milliwatt. And then the last attachment is the monolithic suppressor. Little stutter right there. Really, this attachment isn't too important. It's just gonna help you. 1, it's gonna keep you suppressed, and 2, your damage range, which that really has no effect on you at all because you're on these small maps and you're playing hardcore. But sound suppression may save your life like once or twice during this entire time. It's a very small chance that it could happen, but if you're shooting at the guy because you're hip firing and you're just spraying at him, he can't figure out where you are because you're suppressed. And it takes him an extra second to find you. It only takes 1 or 2 shots to kill the guy. So if you can land 1 or 2 shots in that 1 second grace period that suppressor gave you, then hey, it did something. So that's why I use a suppressor over something like random. But that's actually it for the Hipfire build, and now I will jump on to the Longshot build. Alright, so here's the Longshot build. Real quick before I go into the attachments, I'm going to take you in-game real quick, and I'm going to kind of explain how to use this build. I used to just put up a picture, but I figured if I jump into the game and like kind of show you what I'm doing, it will help you more. But a big part of this is to make sure that you guys have a smoke grenade equipped. But I'll see you in just a second, and I'll show you how to use this build. Alright, so I'm not using the P90, but I'm just using the AUG just because I was lazy and I didn't want to make a new gun, because you have to make new classes in private matches. So even though it's the AUG, this applies exactly to the P90 just the same. This gun is basically built the exact same. The biggest thing is the thermal sight. So like I said, you want to make sure you have a smoke equipped. This is where, on Shoot House at least, this is where you're going to want to get all your long shots and your mounted kills. Or you hop up onto this wall. What you want to make sure you do is you take your smoke grenade, you throw it up and over the wall, give it a second, let it puff up in mid lane. You're going to then run up, then jump up on it, mount your gun so you get your mounted kills, and as you can see, your sight's completely blocked through the smoke, but with a thermal sight, you can see through it no problem. So if someone is on this wall right here, those are long shot kills. on this particular side, right here, there's at least two spawns right there. So if you have your teammates like on the right lane and on the left lane, it'll force their team to either spawn behind that wall or right here. So if you're at this like particular spot where I am right now, you can get an insane amount of kills by just like the game having terrible spawns and forcing their team to spawn right here. I've seen people get like 7 kill streaks in just a matter of seconds just by spraying right here, and then their whole team spawns there. You get a crazy amount of kills in like a couple seconds. But these right here are also long shot kills. If you're consistently killing somebody up on this wall, they usually tend to get mad at you, and it's their goal to kill you. So if they're trying to specifically try and kill you, and they stop peeking up here, a lot of times they like to peek right here, which is this identical corner. What they do is instead of you're sitting right there staring for them, they try and catch you off guard by just mounting right here, and then trying to get you. So make sure you're keeping an eye out for that spot and this spot, depending on which side you are. Both these kills there, and then if you're on that wall shooting here, both of those are long shots. And then also, I'd say on this side, it's about right here is where the long shots turn into like, not long shots, close shots, whatever you want to call them. So you want to make sure you try and kill the guy before he gets too close. And then like if you're on that wall looking here, it's probably about halfway through the tunnel, right about there. But this spot is amazing. Again, this is the AUG, but the P90 is basically built the same. And as you can see, I'm not touching my mouse at all. I'm not holding my breath at all, which I don't think even matters on a thermal sight. But you can see how steady my crosshair is. It's hardly moving at all, which is extremely good because when you're up on this wall, this is basically just an aim fight. You have to be able to out-aim the guy before he aims you, because they can jump up. Actually, it's not so much on this side, but like they can just boom jump up. You have to have a fast reaction time to make sure you kill him before he kills you. So yeah, having that aiming stability just rock solid like that helps out a lot. Makes you just super accurate. But yeah, this is by far on True House. I actually got Damascus before Rust came out, so I got all my long shot and mounted kills on True House right here. And before True House came out, I used to do it on Ground War. So I've kind of experimented in all different like game modes, and Shoot House is by far the most efficient. I don't know about Rust though, because again, I got my Damascus before that. But for Shoot House, this is where I got all my mounted and long shot kills. And for long shot specifically, this is the best spot by far. But now I'm going to jump back in the Gunsmith, and I'll show you guys and break down the rest of the build. Alright, so we're back in Gunsmith. Here we are. Like I said, the optic sight, you want to use a thermal sight. If you don't have a thermal sight unlocked, because as you can see, they are the latest two, or not latest, the last two attachments that you get for sights. You can use the night vision enhanced, and this is actually what I used 9 out of 10 times when I was going for my long shots. I hardly, because let's see, if I hop into the camo categories, I think, what is it? I don't know. I think is it, these are mounted kills. Splinter? Yeah, Splinter. So you can see you're gonna unlock Splinter super early on in your gun levels. So you'll unlock the long shot challenges way before you get anywhere close to unlocking your thermal sights. So I usually always use the night vision sight just because I had it unlocked before. The night vision sight, it's going to make it a little bit harder. Not much. You'll still be able to pick up the guy even if they have cold-blooded. You'll be able to see them no problem. It's just not as clear as the thermal. So whether you have night vision unlocked or thermal sight, use whatever one you have. For the stock, you want to use a heavy stock pro. Again, I showed you how steady the AUG was. That's basically, I had the same thing. I had a stock that was for aiming stability on it. So you want to make sure you have an aiming stability stock on here. Rear grip, you're going to use granulated grip tape. Same reason. Aiming stability, aim walking steadiness doesn't really matter because you're just sitting on that wall the entire time. Under barrel, it's a little bit different because you don't have grips, you have the tapes. Grip tape though, it's going to help with your recoil control and aiming stability. I just realized this is actually really good because it's going to help, 1, with your aiming stability, and then 2, with recoil control. So that's actually a really good attachment. For your barrel, same reasoning as the kills build. Damage range and bullet velocity don't really matter. It's a small map, you're playing hardcore, so those don't really matter. But recoil control, you want to make sure that you get as many accurate shots on the guy as possible before he hits you. So recoil control is going to help with that. But yeah, that's actually it for the Longshot build and mounted build. Real quick though, the reload build is right here. It's basically the kills build. The only thing is you're gonna want to swap out something for sleight of hand. So it's really whatever you feel. Like you could swap out your optic for sleight of hand, because the optic really isn't that important. But it's personal preference. I personally would recommend swapping out the optic for sleight of hand, just because all these perks are going to give you actual benefits compared to a red dot sight that's just going to help you see. And I don't know if I can show you really. Let's see. I don't know. I can't really show you, but the iron sight for the P90 is good. It's not bad at all. So personally, I would recommend swapping out the optic. But that's actually going to be it for all the builds. I'm now going to hop into the camo requirement part of the video, and I'll take you through what's the best game mode and maps for all your challenges. Alright, so now we're into the camo requirement part of the video, where I'm just going to go over all the different camo categories, what you need to do to unlock all the camos within that category, and then I'll give you what maps are the best, well, that I found best to get the challenges done, what variant of the game mode, whether it's hardcore or core, and then what weapon build is like best for that challenge. So starting off with the first one, you have spray paint. You need to get 500 just normal kills. The maps are just Shoe House, Shipment, and Rust. They're the smallest maps, are going to be the easiest to get the most amount of kills on, running into the most fights. So a lot of these challenges will all have the same 3 maps. And if you watch this video like months down the line and there's more maps out, like when I did Damascus, when I was grinding for Damascus, Shipment was just coming out. Shoot House was out for a little bit, but Rust wasn't even out. So, like, as time goes on, more maps will be released, and then hopefully smaller maps will come out. That way, it'll be easier for you guys. But for the spray paint, the best build is going to be the kills build. It's just the best build that is like good overall. So that's the build that works the best. For Woodland, you're going to need 100 headshots. The maps, again, Shoe House, Shipment, and Rust. Play hardcore, and then, again, the kills build. Digital, you need 110 crouching kills. Same thing, same 3 maps, Shoe House, Shipment, and Rust. Play hardcore once again, and then also the kills build. For crouching kills, if you get this on Shipment, you can get it done in like 3 games or 2 games. It's insane. What I would do is I just spawned. As soon as I spawn, I would just crouch. That way, every kill I got. I mean, it's kind of obvious, but you just crouch as soon as you spawn, and then you just stay crouched the entire time. Shipment is such a small map that even if you're not moving that much because you're crouching, you're still going to get a lot of kills just by crouching and not moving that much. Then for Dragon, you just need 100 hipfire kills. Again, same 3 maps: Shipment, Shoot House, and Rust. Once again, hardcore. This is like the first spot where hardcore is like super beneficial. I mean, don't get me wrong, for kills and crouching kills, it's pretty beneficial. For headshots, I think it's extremely beneficial because it's only a one hit headshot kill. But then also for hipfire kills, only having to hit the guy once or twice while you're just spraying at him hipfiring is just extremely useful. But again, Shoe House, Shipment, and Rust. Hardcore, like I said, and then you want to use either the Hipfire build, or depending on what the kills build has on it. If it's got the 5mm laser and the Merc 4 grip, it's basically a Hipfire build gun if it's got the 5mm laser and the Merc 4 grip on it. So you can pick up your Hipfire kills with that as well. For Splinter, you need 50 long shots. If you guys are just skipping to this part of the video from the timestamps below, and you kind of want like an idea or a tip on how to get your long shot kills pretty easily, definitely go back and watch the Longshot / mounted killed build in this video. I take you guys through exactly the type of playstyle that I use to get all my Longshot and mounted kills, and in my opinion, it's very effective. Like I just said, I got all of my guns, all their Longshot and mounted kills done that way. So for the maps, you want to play Shoe House more specifically because that gun was built specifically for that map and that playstyle. But also Rust. I haven't actually gone for a gold gun getting long shots on Rust yet. With these new DLC guns, I'm starting to play Rust. But actually, when I went through and did my Damascus, Rust wasn't out. But there is a couple spots that I've seen on Rust where you can get long shots. Again, if you want to play hardcore, and the weapon build is, of course, the Longshot build. So the next one is topography or topo. You need 50 mounted kills. You can get your mounted kills on either shoe house with the Longshot build. So like if you go, I usually would wait for this topography camo category to be unlocked before I went for my Longshot kills, because you can get your Longshot kills and your mounted kills. You can pick them up at the same time. So you could play shoe house like using that same exact playstyle I just mentioned for the Longshot build. Shipment, extremely easy map to get your mounted kills. You just mount like on anything. As soon as you spawn, you're gonna see tons of people. That's an extremely easy way to get it done. And then Rust, it's kind of like shoe house. It's not as small as Shipment, but there's definitely some good spots that you can just mount your gun and pick up a lot of kills. Again, you want to play hardcore, and then you can either use the Longshot build if you're going with that playstyle for Splinter, with that like sitting on the wall with the thermal sight, or you can just use the kills build if you're playing on like Shipment or Rust. For Tiger, you just need to get 250 kills with max attachments. I think this is actually the one camo category for SMGs that you have to get more kills with than assault rifles. I think assault rifles is 180. For SMGs, you need more at 250. The maps, just any small map again, so shoe house, Shipment, and Rust. You want to play hardcore, and then you can just use any build. All the builds that are featured in this video all have max attachments, so you can so you can get your Tiger camo unlocked. And then stripes, 40 reload kills, shoe house, Shipment, and Rust. Again, small map, you get to run into the most people, play hardcore, and then you want to use the reload build. The stripes actually, if it used to be a lot harder to get your stripe camo kills, those reload kills, but it's been like after a month of the game being out, they increased the amount of time you needed, or the amount of time that was given to you to get a reload killed. So it's a lot easier to get your reload kills now, so you don't specifically need a reload build. You might actually find yourself getting your reload kill challenges done just by playing the game, going for other challenges. So that's kind of nice. For the reptile camo category, you need 75 kills with no attachments. Again, you just want to play on those small maps, so shoe house, Shipment, and Rust. Hardcore, and then no weapon build because you need to use a bare bones gun. For skulls, you need 25 3 kill streaks. This is kind of weird. So for the maps I just said, shoe house, Shipment, and Rust, just because you're gonna run into the most people that way. Same exact thing as all the other camo categories. You run into the most people, you're gonna run into the most fights, so you're gonna have the most opportunity to run into a 3 kill streak. Now I understand that all of you might not be the world's best Call of Duty player, so having to get a 3 kill streak on these small maps might be harder for you. If that's the case, just take any of the builds really, and just hop into Ground War. Ground War is extremely easy to get your 3 kill streaks because it's such a big map. There's so many people, and you can just camp real quick and just Call of Duty. There's not a lot of recoil on your guns, so you can shoot people and kill them pretty easily across like long distances. So if you're having trouble on these smaller maps, I would definitely, if you're like an average player, I would definitely recommend playing on shoe house, Shipment, and Rust. Just because, like I said, you're going to run into the most fights, so you're going to have the most chances to get your 3 kill streaks. But if you're maybe a little bit below average, or you're just struggling, hop into Ground War. I definitely did it for some of the guns, whenever I was getting smacked around on those small maps. It just makes it a little bit easier for you. So, again, play shoe house, Shipment, and Rust, but you're getting smacked around a little bit, just hop into Ground War. And then, if you're playing those 3 small maps, just play whatever version of the map is in hardcore, and then I would recommend using the kills build right off the bat. But if you play Ground War, you can kind of just screw around with other builds and see what works best for you. But that's it, guys. That's all the camo categories. That's all the challenges. So that's actually be it for this video. If you guys liked the video, drop it a like. If you didn't, there's a button there for that as well. I always feel weird asking for people to subscribe, so I put in this little clip with Jev at the end here explaining that whole thing. But that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Have a good day. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.
That is such a lame. He used to mock people for asking for subscribers, and now that's all he does. It's like, dude, the analytics between a video where you tell somebody just simply adding, hey, can you subscribe, versus not. It's actually insane. It's literally a friendly reminder that you can subscribe. I ain't begging for shit. I got enough. But if you want to subscribe, I appreciate it.